This is our steering wheel on the Escape Titanium Hybrid. Off to the left-hand side here, we've got a couple settings. So we've got our volume decrease, increase, or mute. And then these buttons here are the cruise control settings. So the adaptive cruise control or the standard cruise if you have that preference. So in order to use the adaptive cruise control settings, it's very, very simple. So this button here is going to turn it on. Once the cruise control is on, when we get up to the speed that we'd like, we're simply going to go down or up in order to set the speed, and then we can go up or down using this button, using this little knobby here, in order to be able to adjust the speed. So it's going to go up or down 1 kilometer per hour or 1 mile per hour at a time. This is going to cancel out the cruise control from here. This button up here is going to control the distance. So how close or far away are you from the vehicle in front of you? So there are 3 different settings there. If you're on the highway, I normally recommend the 2 or the 3 setting there. And then this next one is tied into the lane keeping system. So this is actually the lane centering button. The actual lane keeping system button, you can turn that on or off from here. So it's just this little knobby here. So as you can see, the lanes are there, which means that the lane keeping system is now on, and then we've got our lane centering system on or off from here. If you ever get any sort of a warning or anything on the screen like that, if we press the OK button in the middle here, it's going to get rid of any sort of indication that we've got. Off to the right-hand side of the steering wheel here, we've got our voice command button or our voice assist button. We can answer a phone call, hang up a phone call, we can change radio stations, we can change songs using these buttons here. These next ones are going to be different things for the screen. So if we look here, we can change our different displays here for the heads-up display. Heads-up display is actually pretty neat. We can just make it out so this screen here, you can't actually see it on the screen here. However, you can actually see the speed that the vehicle is going here. So it's going to show up on the heads-up display here. It's a very, very unobtrusive system. Moving back down, so we can tweak that. We can turn it off completely if we want to. And then we've got a couple different options for settings here. So if we press the menu button here, we've got different screens that we can choose between. So we've got our comm screen, we can turn that off, fuel economy, our different trips. And then we're going to press our back button there. Audio, we can show what songs currently playing, so AM, FM, etc. Navigation, we can have that showing here as well. Home address, previous destination. So we're essentially just searching, a little bit more of an enhanced search from what we saw on the screen over there. And then if our phone was connected, that would be shown up here. We've got some generic settings that we can look at here. And let's see, there we go. Brake coach, oil life as well. And then display setup. So what else do we want in this display here? So we can change to miles per hour if we want to. We can show or hide the power gauge or our eco coach. So we're currently not in the eco driving mode, but it will be available if we are in the eco driving mode. So let me drop out of this here and show you. If we change to the eco driving mode, what happens there? So normal and eco, there we go. Perfect. There we go. A couple differences on the screen here now. And then just moving the gauge up and down here is going to tweak a few things out. So where this really comes into play is if we want to reset this here. So as you can see, we've got our traditional counter here. If we press and hold the OK button, that's going to reset all of our values there. Looking at the side stick here, we've got up or down for our turn signals. We can turn the high beams on as necessary. Again, we're on auto high beams, so you shouldn't have to do this unless you're being nice and flashing somebody, letting them know that there might be a cop up ahead. On the right-hand stick here, we've got this one here, which is going to control the amount of windshield wiper fluid that's released. And then we can turn the windshield wipers on manually ourselves. On the very end of it, just on the tip right here, this is going to control our rear windshield wipers. And then in order to be able to get the actual windshield wiper fluid to go, you're going to pull in towards you for the front windshield, and you're going to push away from you for the rear windshield. And that's the screen, and that's this thing basically in a nutshell. Let's take it for a spin.